All right, so it's 11:05. We're gonna go ahead and get started. 'Cause we got a lot to go over today. Um, I'm gonna do a short recap from the first day. It was kind of just introductory, so it's not like, you know, if we don't go completely through it again, you're gonna miss out on anything. I have a short PowerPoint we're gonna pull up and show, and then we'll talk about some other things we talked about the first day, and then get right into today. And what is rap? Did you, Ryan, and how do you pronounce your name?
Tasala.
Tasala. Okay. Did
Yes.
you all get the email with the syllabus? Okay, cool. All right. So like on that first day, if you want to, you can go back and of course watch the YouTube, but check out the links that we talked about, that we showed in that class. So here we go. All right, so this is the 2021 Fall Virtual Hip Hop Program for We Are Rap, presented by Royce Sauce Handy and Cortez Marcel. This is running from October 2nd through November 20th, every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's our program, We Are Rap, in partnership with the Mid-Continent Public Library, and we've worked with them, man, at least for the last 4 years now. And this is the first time we've actually got the full program scheduled, even though it's virtual because of COVID and stuff. But we're gonna try our best to communicate what we have and to create something real cool. So on the left, you see some of our previous program graduates who we worked with, and then me and Tez on the right, presenting at the Kaufman Foundation's 1 Million Cups, presenting about the program. So we're gonna get into it. So who we are, once again, I'll go by Sauce. I am a recording artist, among other entrepreneurial things that I have going on. And we both tour with a band called New Black City. Hip hop entrepreneurs, of course, the program right here, We Are Rap. We also had a open mic called Rap Asylum, where we would book hip hop artists in the city and a local producer, and pay them, and it would be like one of their first times that they got to ever get paid to perform. On top of having an open mic for anyone who wants to share, any new music or their first time on the mic or whatever. So we ran that for a couple years as well, and we had a lot of success. But it just, a lot of things we had going on with the band. It got kind of busy, and so Rap Asylum was a great thing we had right here in Kansas City. So also community leaders, we worked with various community organizations and spoke and taught all around the city and in the Midwest region as well. So we started creating the program with Damon Daniels of Ad Hoc Group Against Crime. Fast forward, you see us with the previous Kansas City Mayor Slot James, with one of our programs. Some of the students, we've created 2 music videos, about 4 or 5 songs. We've done a theme song and background vocals for a short film that our students shot a couple years ago. We worked with all these different organizations: Front Porch Alliance, Genesis Charter School, City Union Mission, Boys and Girls Club, etc. And that's kind of how we got started. And we just kept kind of connecting with community organizations who was looking for hip hop programming or looking for something different for students to do that may involve music, but not the traditional band or something like that, but something that like they actually might be interested in. So our whole thing is based on hip hop education and us being able to use technology and entrepreneurship and creative writing to put on these programs and give students a platform to use it how they see fit, man. And we just want to teach and give a platform for that. So there's various career opportunities outside of just rapping on stage. And I won't go through all of these, but you got people like Nas, you got Nelly. He started an actual college in St. Louis. You got Tay Keith, producer of many Drake songs and stuff like that, who just started a program at his college. You got Ninth Wonder, who's a music professor at Harvard. So it's different ways that people have used and leveraged hip hop to join it with education as well. Locally, you have Healthy Hip Hop by Royce. He's been on all kind of stuff. He's worked with LeBron James Foundation. He was on Shark Tank. He was on all kind of stuff. And then you have James Shook Easy Singleton of the Break Free Hip Hop School in Overland Park, Kansas. He focuses on more of the like break dancing, graffiti art, other things outside of just rapping. So these are just some pictures of these famous hip hop musicians who have used hip hop in educational ways. You see Nelly on the left side teaching in his classroom, Nas in the middle at the Harvard Institute. Also with that, we started the Rap Bus, and we're still making it, but we acquired a bus. It's gonna be a mobile studio. It's gonna have like TVs in it, and like you can come record. We can do a program like this. We can do it on the bus. So we're putting that together, and it's gonna be real cool. We are right. So just want to do a quick recap of what we did last week. Mike, what's up, man? He was here with us last week. Once again, for the house rules, one of ours is respecting the mic. Like if someone's talking or sharing, like please just like listen and give them that space. On top of all of the privacy things that Mid-Continent Public Library is instructing us about, just for all of our safety, especially you all's. If you look in the chat, you can see, remember this session is being recorded, so please do not share any personal information, including your last name, your school, or your address. So today, what are we gonna do today? All right. I don't know what we're gonna do today, so let me see real quick. I mean, I do know what we're gonna do today, but I want to make sure that I'm saying the right stuff. So today is gonna be all about writing and songwriting, and learning, what is rap. Like we all fans of hip hop and rap music, etc. But like it goes so deep, and not just like the history of when it was created or made, popular or whatever, but just like the actual art form of creative writing and rhyming and all of these things. So students will learn the functions of any tools we will use and will be introduced to music appreciation. Students will learn the basics of hip hop songwriting arrangement, how it relates to other creative writing forms. Students will learn the importance of rhyme, lyrical technique, and more. So in the syllabus that was emailed to you on week 2, you have links to counting bars, rhyme, triplets, which you can watch. And then we have text resources for how to rap in literary devices. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Let's see. Let me pull this up. Oh, my screen wasn't sharing, was it? All right, here we go. All right, y'all can see that, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, so what is rap? Rapping or rhyming, spitting, emceeing is a musical form of vocal delivery that incorporates rhyme, rhythmic speech, and street vernacular, which is performed or chanted in a variety of ways, usually over a backing beat. Historically, rap has often been denied as a true writing art form, though it shares the same techniques as any other creative writing style known as literary techniques. According to literarydevices.com, literary devices or literary techniques are specific structures that writers often use to add meaning or create more compelling stories for the reader. Some common examples are metaphors, alliteration, hyperbole, imagery, similes. I know some of you have already heard these things in school. These techniques can give a reader a greater understanding and meaning of the writer's intent and the reason the creator wrote the rap, or made it, or what audience they made it for, etc. Rapping consists of all of these things, as far as creating the actual art piece, and more, like selecting topics and the form, editing, the rhyming techniques, putting words to music, collaborating, etc., etc. We're going to go through a few of those to really understand and learn the difference of like why rap is such an important piece of the creative writing world. So first you got the flow. So you already know he got flows. When you hear that, like, oh, he was flowing, like literally the flow is defined as the rhythms and the rhymes of a hip hop song's lyrics and how they interact. In the book, How to Rap, they break flows down into rhyme schemes, and rhythm, also known as cadence. Flow is also sometimes used to refer to elements of the delivery, the pitch and the volume as well, though often a distinction is made between the flow and the delivery, because to successfully deliver a rapper must also develop vocal presence, enunciation, and breath control. Vocal presence is the distinctiveness of a rapper's voice on record. Enunciation is essential to a flowing rap. Some rappers choose also to exaggerate it for comic and artistic effects. So it's a lot of rappers that perform like that. Ludacris, Busta Rhymes, like really like energetic and just kind of like, just all over the place with their vocal volume, etc. Now, the interesting thing about enunciation is that, enunciation is good for someone to understand exactly what you're saying, but with a lot of the modern hip hop that we hear right now, enunciation is not such a big thing as it compares to the flow. So like mumble rap, I know you heard of mumble rap, or what they call mumble rap. Like mumble rap came about because, real hip hop listeners are listening like, man, I can't understand what these guys are saying. Sometimes it's their dialect, sometimes it's their flow, or etc. Or sometimes they might just be freestyling and they just put it out there. A lot of rap that's out right now, it's like people just getting in the booth and rapping how they feel or whatever, not even writing stuff down, just going. And it's become a very popular thing. And so when you think about enunciation, don't like I had to remind myself not to like count out mumble rap, because it's a different way that that the enunciation is going on. So but if you listen, you still can hear like some of the words might be slurred. It might be on purpose. It might be a technique thing. Like it might be exaggerating it for a comic and artistic effect. So one of the last things about delivery is breath control, taking in air without interrupting one's delivery. It's an important skill for a rapper to master and a must for any MC, especially with live performing. Live performing is like one of the backbones of hip hop. Like if you're not live performing, man, you like if you rapping, like live performing is like one of the number one things. Like you have to be out there performing your music in front of the people that's buying, streaming, and listening and buying your merch, etc. And breath control is so important, especially if you're a very energetic rapper or if you rap real fast. Learning how to control your breath so people can actually hear you is one of the most important things. Next, we got styles. So you got the chant used by like Lil Jon, Scrappy, Migos, a lot of Atlanta music and down south music in general has the chants, and it's real heavy on ad libs and repeating the same thing over and over again. It's real cool how they do it. You got the syncopated bounce, which is known as twisting or chopping or fast rapping fast. It's used by Twista, Tech Nine, Eminem. And then you have straightforward rap used by Tupac, T.I., Rick Ross, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg. It's just like, the rap where like they just say what they mean and it's not too complex. And it might be real creative. I'll be even put Drake in there sometimes. It might be real creative, but you just know what they mean when they say it. It's not any, trying to figure stuff out. Then you have the Rubik's Cube, um, used by Kendrick Lamar, Nas, Lupe Fiasco, Eminem, and a lot of other rappers, where it's like really complex. Like you gotta be like a real like lyricist lover to really listen and understand what these guys are talking about. You listen to their songs 3 or 4 times and still don't get it. Some of their raps go over your head. And then you have the singing rhythm style. This is probably the most popular style right now because of auto tune. Like all the new age rappers are killing it, and it sounds great. And I remember hearing this style first from like DMX, Ja Rule, 50 Cent. Drake is probably the king of it right now, but you got so many other artists who do it, like Dirk, Lil Tecca, Trippie Redd. Like they just so good at harmonizing their rhymes. And Future as well. Future, on his album Dirty Sprite 2, he had a commentary part of the album where he talked about like the day and age we're in right now is all about melody. And if you can get people to love your melody and to love your voice and the way you harmonize, you can rap about anything and they will like it. And he's proven to do that. But the importance of melody right now in this age, man, is crazy, and everybody's doing it. So that's dope. Then you have rhyme, and I had a video on rhyme, but I couldn't get it edited fast enough. So we'll probably play that next week, try to incorporate it somehow, or we will just, you can watch it on the email. It is linked on the syllabus that you can watch it as well. But MCs use many different rhyming techniques, including complex rhyme schemes. As Adam Crims, he's a hip hop scholar, points out, the complexity involves multiple rhymes in the same rhyme complex section with consistently rhyming words. You got internal rhyme schemes, you got offbeat rhymes. G Herbo is known as everybody talks about how he's always offbeat. And sometimes he don't really be offbeat. I think his style is just, that Chicago style is just so different. I like G Herbo. I like this. I like 25, and I liked PTSD. Those are my favorite G Herbo albums. But there's also a widespread use of multi-syllable rhymes by artists such as Eminem. The most important thing that I want to talk about with the rhyme is that it has been noted that rap's use of rhyme is some of the most advanced in all forms of poetry. Music scholar Adam Bradley notes that rap rhymes so much and with such variety that it is now the largest and richest contemporary archive of rhymed words. It has done more than any other art form in recent history to expand rhyme's formal range and expressive possibilities. Rhyme is often thought to be the most important factor in rap writing because rhyme is what gives rap lyrics their musicality. And with that, I'm gonna stop on this and talk a little bit more about hip hop songwriting and get into counting bars and some other things like that that really are important when trying to develop a rhyme and trying to deliver the rhyme. So the video would have been perfect right here, but rhyme, like you think about like a nursery rhyme, like the reason like music in general, but like raps are so catchy because like that rhyme keeps everything connected. And you think about a nursery rhyme and like how like kids, they get into it because they can keep going with what's coming next or even predict what's coming next because of those rhyming words that are coming in. And it's just interesting how rap has just like evolved into this art form that has like the most rhymes ever, and I'm pretty sure it's some books on that or something I might have to try to find, but it's just interesting, man. And when you talk about the different types of rhymes, internal rhyme schemes, the real complex stuff that like Eminem and Kendrick Lamar does, down to the simple stuff, it's just really interesting how people use rhyme inside of raps. So I just want to touch on that real fast. I know it was a lot of talking and reading, but I always want to show how important rap is to the creative writing world. I've been in a lot of spaces where people don't take me serious. They don't take what I do serious because it's rap. If it was Anything else, it might have been a different decision or a different outcome. But I always want to hit on that. So we're gonna do some hip hop songwriting, talk about some hip hop songwriting, how it's evolved in song structure, and learning how to count bars. So I do have a video, real dope and simple video. All right, so I think he just keeps going and going on and going on. But so the importance there that I was looking for is that usually the rhyme is going to end on the fourth bar. And that's how I write like a usual rap song or rap verse historically, normally, is 16 bars. So that means I'm going to have at least 16 words that rhyme with each other. And when I write, I don't have any paper, but when I write, I'm going to have 16 lines. I need that for myself sometimes, because if I hear a beat from a producer and I can't figure out where the hook is at, I need to look at the lines and make sure, okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 bars, 16 lines. That means I got a complete verse. So I should be able to find find where I should start and where I should end at. But in today's rap world, along with the styles of rap, the content of rap, the song structure of rap has evolved and changed as well. And Tez knows a lot about the song structures and how they have changed.
I mean, it's kind of like it's just kind of open, to be honest with you. A lot of songs, like historically, like especially hip hop songs or just songs in general, used to be a lot longer than what they are now. Those same 16 bars that Sauce was talking about now can be chopped down, and a lot of people just do 12 bars. So in Sauce's example, we'll have 16 rhyming words. Songs now may only have 12 rhyming words, sometimes 8 rhyming words, sometimes 4 rhyming words, right? But the structure, so really now is really it, where there used to be kind of rules. Most hip hop songs would have 16 bar verses, an 8 bar chorus. They have some kind of intro, might be 4 bars. Now it's just kind of really however you feel, to be quite honest with you. It's kind of what I discovered. And I kind of adopted that too. Sometimes it's just pure laziness, you know what I mean? But sometimes it just feels right. Like when the song ends, it's like, oh, okay, I don't need to say anymore. Or when the verse ends, it's I don't need to say anymore. So yeah, I mean that's in general, that's kind of how it's evolved and changed and become more accepted to do less. Sometimes less is more, and that's kind of what's happening now.
Yeah, like if you think about like songs on the radio, I was listening to Hot 103 the other day, and like they played like a throwback rap song, and it was like Tupac or something, and it was like 3 verses, 3 hooks. Yep. The song was like 4 minutes long. That is not going to happen in today's time on the radio. Like
I don't even think radio gives you that much time anymore, do they?
No, it's
for
like
a song. It's like 3 minutes.
Yeah. I was this. So I was saying. So it's like a hook, 16 bars, an 8-bar hook, 16 bars, an 8-bar hook, and 16 more bars. I'm like, that is so long now. But really, it's not. But compared to today's music, it is like everything is so much faster and shorter. So compared to Moneybagg Yo, anybody listen to Moneybagg Yo? No? All right. So Moneybagg Yo, he signed to CMG, which is Yo Gotti's record label. Also on that label is ETSG, 42 Doug, and a few other people. And Moneybagg Yo got this song called Time Today. I just looked at my wrist and the time today. In the line today, the hate be real, the love be fake. That song, right? That song is 2 hooks and 1 long verse in the middle. It's a hook at the beginning. Matter of fact, I think it might be like a bridge at the beginning. It's only like 4 bars. And then it's like 24 bars and then like an 8 bar hook or something at the end. The song is only like 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And
I
then
think
it's
the one that
off.
he got with the sample of oh girl
The
from
Waukesha.
Waukesha is almost the same way.
Yeah, it
She comes
is.
in like at the very beginning. Ashanti comes in at the very beginning, and then he just kind of like got like he kind of got somewhat of a hook, but it's like more verse than it is anything else. Like one long verse almost. If you listen to it.
Yes. So, and I mean, almost all the songs have been like that. Or another popular song structure is one hook and then one 16 or 12 bar verse, one hook and then one 16 or 12 bar verse, and then the song is over. Young Thug got a new song called TikTok, and it's just like they start off with a verse, and then it goes to the TikTok hook, and it's 8 bars, and then a 16 bar verse, 8 bar hook, and then the song is over. And the song is only like 2 minutes and 46 seconds or something. So I don't know if it's the attention spans because of streaming and all the technology we have, but rap specifically has definitely gotten shorter as far as commercial radio play. And of course, they're trying to rush you off and get those ads and those commercials playing. But the songs are so short, man. Even when you listen to albums, like I listened to Trust Fund Babies, that new Lil Wayne and Rich the Kid. Anybody heard that yet? All right, so I looked at the track list. Every song is under 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Every song. And I'm just like, man, that's crazy because Lil Wayne had some of the longest songs back when we was growing up. Like when he was with the Hot Boys, I mean, them songs was 4 and 5 minutes long. So now for every song to have like basically him rap once, Rich the Kid rap once, and them have a couple hooks. It's kind of it's just weird seeing how song structure has evolved with hip hop. But I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm just saying the song structure changes. I don't know if the listener
Yeah.
dictates it or what, but
Yeah. I'm not sure, like you said, if it's good or bad, but in my opinion, it does. I mean, because hip hop artist, right? So you're an artist, right? And a lot of times, with art, everybody has their own approach to it, right? Basquiat paint different than, you know what I mean? So I mean, with hip hop and with music now and with writing, there's it's kind of like no limits to it. Like you can do what you want to do, right? It was kind of rule based for a second. Now it's opened up and people are just kind of embracing it more as art. Not only has it, I mean, yeah, it may have gotten shorter. Some people do short albums, like you said. I've done several short EP albums, which really was unheard of for real in hip hop. Not too many people did 6-song albums. You're gonna do at least 17 tracks. But now you got those shorter ones, and then you got people releasing 30 songs, on an album, and just kind of being open and free with how they want to go about doing things. And it shows in every kind of aspect of the culture or just rappers in general, like the way that they dress, they do what they want to do, right? There was rules to that, right? So we didn't switch up the way we dress. We switched up the way we create songs. We've gotten a lot more creative, and I believe that artists are just really starting to embrace the actual art form of rap as it relates to just hip hop in general.
definitely I agree, and I think hip hop has always been on the forefront of pushing the latest trends, whether it's from fashion to art to the way you create songs. I mean, look how big autotune. Everybody does autotune now in every music genre, but you know it from being popular because of T Pain and Lil Wayne and Kanye West. So that's interesting as well. And now they call this the streaming era as far as releasing music. And you look at the biggest rappers. Have y'all heard Donda? Anybody listen to Donda? All right. Anybody listen to Certified Lover Boy? All right. So these albums have like 20 songs on them, right? And they could have been shorter, honestly. As a music critic as well as a participant, they could have been shorter. They could have had some songs that they could have just not put out. But to get the amount of streams to boost your first week sales, to become the number one streamed artist on Spotify now. Drake is most streams in one day. You got to have 20 songs, you know, because people are listening to music so fast. Music is getting so old, and the song is only if your song is only 2 minutes and 46 seconds. I'm not gonna play it, you know, 10 times back to back. So I play the whole album, you know, 20 songs, you know, and take it from there. But it's interesting. Like the songs are a little bit shorter, but now they're putting more songs on there for the streaming era. And who else just dropped the album that was like think Chris Brown's last album was like 40 songs or
Yeah,
something
it was
like that.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like so it's different, but I agree with Tez. Like I think that the freedom in hip hop is to be able to do what you want, and with rappers being more independent now in the internet era, um, whatever your fans, whatever your listeners like, or you know whatever you can get them to
It
like
works.
is what you can do. You know, you can have your whole independent fan base. It's rappers that make a living off of hip hop. I mean, probably make $1 million a year off of music, and we've never even heard of them because of the internet. Like they have fan bases that you don't know of. So it's really just kind of a whole new world. But the same principles are there. You gotta have bars. I mean, if you're rapping on a beat, you gotta be in line with the bars. That's just the musical component of creating. Um, Whether you're not rhyming on them or not, you're gonna have some type of structure to it. Lupe has a song where he's just like rapping murals. I don't know if anybody listened to Lupe Fiasco, but he has a song called Murals where it's like a 5 minute verse, no hooks, nothing. He just rapping and rapping and rapping. Real quick in the chat, put in any rappers or any albums you're listening to right now, so I can get a reference of if I'm listening to any of the same things or Tez are is, and we can take it from there. So we talked about how hip hop songwriting and song structure has evolved. We talked about what is rap as far as in the creative writing world. We looked at how to count bars. So next time you hear somebody say bars, oh he got bars, now you actually know like bro, you don't got bars, you don't know how to count bars. Okay, so now this is a okay. So now we want to talk about ways to get started on writing your own raps, and there is in the syllabus there is a couple links on that as well, um, because there's so many different ways, but I think rap always starts with like some type of experience or inspiration, looking at what's going on around you, etc. When I first started rapping, I listened to a lot of Lil Wayne. When he was, I think we about the same age. So when he was 14, 15, signed to Cash Money, I was the same age. I wanted to be just like him. So I listened to all Lil Wayne's albums. I'd be in my room all day, my headphones on, and I was sneaking because it was explicit, and my mom wouldn't let me listen to explicit lyrics, so I had to sneak it. But I was listening to him, and I write down all the lyrics, I memorized all the songs, and I started to realize that a lot of things that he talked about, like if I didn't personally go through them, I knew somebody that had them or I seen them when I walked outside of my house. So I connected that, of course, rap is reflecting what's going on around you. Tupac is very well known for that. That's why he's considered one of the goats of rap. He always talked about what was going on in the community, what's going on in the world, etc. And from there, you have so many different artists who talk about so many different things, um, but always in line with what's going on. Kendrick Lamar, they had a list of like the top 10 protest rappers of all time or something like that. And like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole was, of course, like number one and number two. And like all the music they put out recently about all the music they put out recently, like that was with the movement for Black Lives and like about the police and things like that. Um, you can just kind of look at hip hop and look at you can listen to rap and figure out what's going on at what time in the world. If you listen to Big Daddy Kane or LL Cool J, you know, okay, in the 80s, this was going on in New York. You know, in the 90s, this was going on the West Coast when I listened to Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube. This is what was going on, NWA, etc. So, you know, those are so many different ways you see rap being used as far as content and inspiration. But it's even so much more just because rap is such a personal thing. Um, in some of our classes, we've had students who talked about. Matter of fact, we had a young lady at a mid-continent public library workshop. We had a young lady, I think she was in 10th grade, and she never rapped a day in her life. She said she don't even want to be a rapper, but she wanted to come because it sounded interesting, it sounded something different, something different to do, right? And she wrote a rap about her father who recently passed away. And this is a few years ago, but she wrote a rap about her father who passed away. And she said she just wanted to, she never done anything publicly like talking about her dad because it was like a real personal thing. But she felt like, from what she learned from us, like she had the freedom and felt like she could get up there and do something. So she wrote this beautiful, like 8-bar verse about her dad and how important he was to her. And like, she never wants to be a rapper. She's probably going to be a nurse or something. I don't know. But like, that's the importance and the freedom that hip hop gives you, and that's the platform that it gives you, the voice that it gives you. It has always been about having a voice in the world, from when it was created to now. And like the first day we talked about, with Michael, we talked about the young lady in Saudi Arabia who wrote a rap when Saudi Arabia in 2017 or 18, they first gave women the right to drive. And that sounds so crazy to us over here, but they didn't pass the law until, you know, a few years ago. And the first thing that came out about it, you know, outside of the actual news of the law being passed, was this young lady who went viral. She was rapping in her language, driving a car. And it's like, that's how big hip hop is all around the world. Like, people want to be able to, you know what, we just got our laws passed. We about to shoot a video in the car, and it's gonna be rap, right? And it's actually it's dope too. And I sent the link on the syllabus as well, so check that out because she was spitting. So we've seen all of those type of things happen in We Are Rap. We have a lot of students who wants to be rappers, who aspire to be, you know, rappers, who want to learn how to go on tour, how to create. We've had artists who who have come out with CDs after they left our program. They hit us up, say, "Hey, bro, I dropped my first song on Spotify. Check it out. I got my first album out, man." We've actually booked a couple of our program students for Rap Asylum that we talked about earlier. We've had a couple of them come through, perform, bring their fans out. They made some money. They really learn like what it is to be on stage and to have that experience. So those things, you know, all of that goes into, you know, why hip hop and rap is such an important art form. And from there, I want to talk about, before we get into this next thing, I want to talk about our personal writing styles, because I think everybody has one. All right, hold on. All right, so I just seen the chat. All right, so we got Ryan said NF, the Search album. All right. Ivan B, FMFMH. I don't know what that is. Social Club. I know Social Club. Fern and Marty. Yep. And in that genre, you got like Lecrae, Andy Mineo, people like that. I actually opened up for Lecrae years ago, man, a long time ago, before he was like Grammy Award winning. He came to Kansas City, and we did a lot of work with this local church, and he came out, and like the church was a small church, but it was so many people there that he did 2 shows that night just so all the fans could actually see him perform. So that was dope. And then we got Lauryn Hill. Dope. Her vibe and wordplay with the music is dope. Yeah. I mean, she's so dope. She can rap. She play the guitar. She can sing. She can do all kind of stuff. Her verse on that new Nas album, have you heard that? Okay, it's a song called Nobody. Look this up. It's a song by Nas featuring Lauryn Hill called Nobody. She addresses a lot of the things, the rumors and talk going on about her on the internet. She addresses these things. But Lauryn Hill is definitely a gem. She's one of the greatest, of course. I grew up on Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. My dad was a huge Fugees and Lauryn Hill fan. So I definitely grew up on all that. All right. My boy
I
Mike.
heard a tour or something that they about to do, right?
I don't
I think
know
the
what
Fugees.
what.
I heard about a Fugees tour. You might want to look that up.
Oh, reunion
Yeah, like a
tour.
reunion tour. Yeah.
That's
That's the
gonna be
rumor
dope.
right now. So man, if they do that, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope. All right, so my boy Mike with the last comment. We got Kendrick, Mad City. We got Lil Baby, Dirk, the voice and the hero, of course. You got Drake. You gotta throw Drake in there. You got Jid. I think Ted's really loves Dreamville Camp. J.
Yeah, I do.
Cole, 42 Doug. I think Detroit has probably the dopest music scene right now. You got 42 Doug, you got Sada Baby, you got even like the people who aren't doing anything right now, but they still popular, like Dej Loaf. And then you got like the OGs like Eminem, Royce the 5'9", like people like that. But they got like Detroit has a dope music scene, man. I like Babyface Ray, even some of the underground cats, like they dope. Pac, Dre, Snoop, Easy E. Come on, man. We got the classics in there. Eminem, Juice WRLD, R.P, Juice WRLD, R.P, Easy E. Baby King, okay. Now, Baby King was a little, I don't know. I like him, but his album was a little different for me. Um, Nas, Outkast, Ski Mask, Trippie Redd. I really love Trippie Redd's new album. The song he got with Chief Keef and no, that's on Tekka's album. But the song he got with Triple X on there is very dope. Danny Phantom. A couple other songs he got on there is dope. The song he got with Uzi Vert is very dope. Lil TJ, I like Lil TJ. He's got a couple songs I like. The song he got with what's the Dreamville dude that's got a new song out? Tess. It's called The Jackie. J. Cole, TJ, and Boss. Boss, is that his name?
Boss, yeah,
Boss,
Boss,
yeah. That
yeah.
song is dope. I don't listen to NLE Chopper. Okay, Kanye, of course. Jack Harlow. I like Jack Harlow. The song he got with Pooh Shiesty is very dope. You got Hove, Denzel Curry. I never liked Denzel Curry, but maybe I should give him another chance. But yeah, so we got a lot of great names on there. Me currently, I'm listening to Meek Mill, Expensive Pain. I'm listening to ESTG, 42 Doug, Freedom Boys. Um, who else was I just listening to? I know Andy Mineo got a new album I want to check out. It's like a part two. What's the name of it, Ryan? You know?
Or the Neverland, whatever thing's called.
Yeah, Neverland Part Two or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm waiting for Kendrick to drop. I think the whole world waiting for Kendrick to drop. I'm waiting for Rick Ross to drop, and anybody else I can think of. I don't know. I drive some. I have a box truck business as well, and sometimes I just let the radio. I don't listen to the radio that much, but sometimes I let it play, and they play a lot of the same songs like every 5 minutes. But every now and then you hear something dope that you can check out. So I've been listening to a lot of different stuff lately. But yeah. All right. So personal writing styles. I'm gonna go first because I want to get it out of my brain real fast. So how I approach the writing and the creating. You guys know what a web graph is, right? It's like the circle in the middle, and then you like a little web of bubbles. Let me see if I can draw real quick.
Mm.
If I got a notepad or something I can draw. Let's see, Samsung Notes or something. I don't know. All right, I can't find nothing. It's not. That's definitely not on this computer. All right, that's on my other laptop. All right. So yeah. So basically, with the web graph, I put. Um. Bro, I thought I had some paper up here or something. I put my theme. So I'm a very themed rapper. I know some rappers can rap without a beat, rap without a theme. They can just go. I like to always know what I'm about to talk about. So let's say I'm rapping about trees. So in my middle bubble, my middle graph, I'm gonna have trees in the middle, right? Now I actually write this down sometimes. Most times I do it in my head, but I do write it down as well. Um, so I have trees in the middle as like my main theme. So let's say the Arbor Day Festival said, "Hey, Sauce, we want you to make us a theme song about trees for this year's Arbor Day, and we'll pay you for it." Or something. I said, "Okay, cool. I'm making this song about trees." All right, so I had trees in the middle, and then I instantly think about all of the things that explain what trees are or go along with what a tree is. So I'll have a web out to dirt, a web out to leaves, a web out to sun, a web out to water, a web out to seeds, uh, bark or something. And from there, I find words that rhyme with these things that describe what a tree is. So if I have light, I mean sun, I have, run, fun, hun, bun, whatever. And light, I have sight, right, flight, might, tight, etc. And like that's how I organize how I'm going to approach the song in my head. I always start out with a beat as well. So I'm always constantly looking for producers. Like, hey, send me some beats, y'all. And if you know any producers, tell them to holler at me too. But I'm always looking for beats. Sometimes I just buy beats. I might not never use them. I just stack them up. I have a folder full of beats I just might freestyle to or something. But when I get that inspiration, I actually know what I'm gonna talk about. I have trees in the middle. I have all these things connected to what a tree is, and I start rhyming words to connect the dots of that. And I try to not leave space for, well, depending on the song, I try to not leave space for um, the wrong interpretation. I like people to know what my art is, know what I'm talking about, and know that I'm serious about it. So I try to connect these words to explain what a tree is, and from there I put the song out. And I just like that's how I always think about it. It's kind of like my personal way of doing it, but it works for me. I think it's really cool. It's easy, and if I can't get it in my head, I can always just write a bubble and branch it out from there. So yeah, Tez, how do you get your writing going?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, it definitely comes like kind of what you're talking about with thematic. I kind of gotta know what I want to talk about. Um, before I start to come up with something. But usually the music will speak to me first. So if I'm listening to the beat, um, it's like, okay, I like that vibe. And then instantly in my head, it's either a freestyle or some kind of cadence, right? Which we kind of touched on a little bit, like whatever style or approach I want to come to, I want to deliver on this on a particular song based on how the music sounds. So I might mumble something. I probably got, I don't know, hundreds of songs in my or hundreds of mumbles in my archive that will give me my cadence, and then it's like fill in the blank for me, right? So I know how I want to say something, and then I would come up with or write down exactly what I want to say based on whatever the theme is. So it's that's kind of just how it happens for me. That's how it's always happened for me. I kind of hear it, visualize it, see it, and then it's like I'm a fill in the blank until I get to what it is I wanna say and how I wanna say it. Which has helped me, to be honest with you, develop uh develop out my flow, right? Develop how I approach a song, develop my many different cadences that I can come up with, because it'll be like I'm practicing the cadence and then it's like the words come after that. It just helped me be a little more comfortable, animated on a microphone, because I practice the approach before I even say the words. So that's kind of how it happens for me.
Dope, dope. Are any of you three writing any music? You want to share writing styles or how you approach the music?
Do y'all mind if I talk, or do you want me to type it?
No, you can talk. You can
I know
talk.
you can talk, yeah.
Okay, well, just growing up musically inclined, I'm real big about like a message of a song or like rapping or something. So like when they told me about your guys' program, talking about how we're gonna get into creative writing, um, like so when I'm about to write something, of course I like so like you said, Tez, about the vibe of the music, and like if the beat is I don't vibe with that, then I can't write to that. But so like if I find a certain instrumental that like I feel I can share a message with, I'll go by like how you said, Sauce, about like the what my theme is about. And
Kind of froze on our end, or at least on my end.
You froze up
Froze up, yeah.
after you was talking about the theme.
oh, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Well, the whole thing with my theme is I was talking about how you were saying, Sauce, about how you branch out and you got everything that goes into your
You went you went out again.
She got a bad connection.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Uh Ryan, what about you? You want to share?
Yeah, sure. The way that I like to do mine is I actually do kind of the same way as Tej, except mostly for me, it's not about the cadence, it's about freestyling. I kid you not. Every single song I've ever tried writing, I freestyled. The biggest problem is though, is that most of the time I'm writing, I'm working on my job and there's nothing to do, and I don't have anywhere to write it down.
Definitely, man. I've definitely freestyled a few songs out of the blue. And you know, a lot of it too is inspiration. Like me, I could be riding down the street and see something and like just be inspired to rap about something. Like,
Yeah.
and it might not even correlate with each other. Like I might see, I don't know, a car and be and think about something. It might just trigger something in me. I'm like, man, let me put that in my Google Notes real quick, and I'll come back to that a little bit later on or something. Um, I know different rappers have different writing styles. Some rappers don't even write, like famously Jay-Z. It is known across the industry that you want Jay-Z on a verse, he will show up, play the beat, listen to what you got, go in and freestyle his verse. And I can't name a bad Jay-Z verse. I can't name a mid Jay-Z verse. I think all of them have been, I mean, at least an 8 and above for me. But I'm a Jay-Z fan as well. But to be able to freestyle, and I mean, first of all, Jay-Z has been in the game for like 20 plus years. To be able to rap at such a high level still shows his love for the craft and his genius at being a creative in general. But to be able to freestyle the type of verses that he does, man, it's just kind of unfair. So I would love to learn more about his writing process as far as in his head, what's going on in his head. It's now said that Lil Wayne is like that. He goes in and freestyles, and the features he's been on this year, he's been on a tangent. Like he's been killing every feature he's been on. And some people freestyle and they pause, they'll like punch in. So they'll like stop the beat and figure out what they're gonna say next and then record that, do the same thing, record that. I've seen people come to the studio and not have anything ready for the song. Get in the studio, hear the beat, and write something real quick and go in and perform it. They want to be around the vibe of the people. They want to be around, I need to be in the studio. I gotta feel like a rapper to rap, So like different writing styles, it's always amazing learning about the process of how another person creates. And with writing and rapping. And for me, like I love writing, especially like actually writing, because I've done all kind of writing outside of just rapping. When I was at UMKC, I wrote for the school newspaper. I was a social media editor. I've published a memoir about my life. I've wrote sports writing. I've wrote political pieces. I've wrote grants. So like there's like different styles of writing formally and creatively that I've done. So I think I just love writing, and I think this love came from when I was younger. I read a lot. I was always on punishment because I used to get in trouble a lot. And I'd be in my room with no PlayStation, no Sega, no none of that. No, take that away. And all I got is these books. And I started reading these Goosebump books. And I don't know if Goosebumps is still a popular thing, but I had probably, I probably had over 100 Goosebump books in my life. And I would read them and I fall in love with the stories. I think R.L. Stein is one of the greatest youth writers ever. And the storytelling, like, wanted to make me write my own stories, along with listening to early Tupac, Biggie, Master P, a lot of the early 90s and late 90s music. And from there, like, I knew I wanted to write, whether it was writing about my life or actually writing a rap about my life. I think all those inspirations kind of tied in. And it made me, and learning how to write these other forms made me a better writer creatively. It made me learn how to communicate a message with less words or being more complex, depending on what the target audience is. It's made me a great speaker on stage live, how to captivate an audience with communication, how to remember my rhymes better. That's one of the biggest things, man, as a rapper, is remember your lines on stage. But I think all of those things kind of go into my creative writing process. So thank you all definitely for sharing those. I'm gonna start trying to freestyle a little bit more, Ryan. When I was in high school, we used to freestyle battle. This is when battling started getting real popular again, with Freestyle Friday on BETs. Come on every Friday. They had, two people versus each other. Whoever wins get the belts for the next week. If you win 7 weeks in a row, you become the Freestyle Friday champion. They kind of retire you or whatever. It's a lot of rappers who retired and haven't done anything since then. But we used to freestyle battle rap in high school. We used to beat on the lunch tables with the pen and your fist. And whoever thought he was the coldest rapper comes to the table. We about to rap it out. And so I used to freestyle a lot, but I kind of stopped. But I do want to revisit just that, that fun of not knowing what's going to come out, but you're going to say it, So, all right. So I wanted to continue about like the content and the messages, the way people use hip hop, the way people have used rap to get messages across, to communicate to certain audiences. Hip hop is so big. It's at the Super Bowl. It's on Pepsi commercials. It's in every movie. Even me and Tez have done. People have licensed our music to use for certain things. We performed at political engagements We performed at what was it when we performed at the MLK, the Go Vote for the MLK thing a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
Like it's so many different ways people want to capture hip hop in hopes to capture a younger audience. And with hip hop lately, mental health has been a huge conversation. And I mean, it's always been a conversation, but it's become more of a conversation as we have been going through some crazy times in the world, all around the world. And hip hop has been always been addressing these issues, but lately, mental health has been a common theme among artists, whether they're rapping about it or they're sharing their experiences with their mental health, or they're encouraging you to, talk about mental health or go see a therapist or whatever. So I want to share a couple of those articles that I've read about. And G Herbo, anybody listen to G Herbo, Chicago? I love the Chicago rap scene as well. Lil Durk. I first got up on it with Chief Keef, of course, the new age, because you got Lupe and Kanye and Twista and all of these, the OG rappers. But the new age came, I think, with Chief Keef, and from there we learned about Durk and King R.A.P, King Vine, G Herbo, and all these people, and King Louis as well. I think G Herbo is probably my favorite right now. I always think he has some type of message in his music, whether it's talking about, how he grew up and stuff like that. But he had an album in 2018 called PTSD, which of course stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. And he related it to growing up in the gang affiliations of Chicago as a kid. So he related to PTSD to what he experienced as a young man trying to make it out of Chicago. And this album, of course, it had a lot of things about PTSD. Juice WRLD was on one of the singles with Chance the Rapper. It's a real big song. I think it's probably his number one song now. And the whole album just revolved around that. But after he dropped the album, he did a thing with the Chicago Public School District. Of course, they gave away backpacks and school supplies, but he went around to each school and did these mental health workshops. So G Herbo coming to your school, not only to perform, but talk about mental health, talk about what's going on in our communities. And I just thought that was like such a huge thing. I never think that any entertainers or celebrities should be forced to have some type of responsibility, but I do think they should know that they have a very important platform. And for the ones who do act upon that and do positive things like that, like, they become my instant favorites. I'm all about the authenticity of hip hop, like going back to the roots, knowing about where it came from, why it was created, and for rappers to still be doing these type of things to reach back to their communities. Those are my favorite rappers. The rappers who can go back to their hood, they're my favorite rappers. Like, if your community, your city loves you, I love you. I don't care if you can't rap that good. If you can go back to your community and do something for these kids, you got me as a fan. So I just wanted to give a little preference with that, but I'm gonna bring these articles up and talk a little bit more about mental health and how hip hop has kind of been spearheading the conversations about mental health lately. Let's see here. All right. Make sure I'm sharing this right. All right. So this is in Very Well Mind. I guess it's a mental health online publication. I never knew of it until I, looked for this stuff. But this is a pretty new article this year. I just see it's fact checked by Sean Blackman. I don't know what that means exactly, but it gives it a little bit more legitimacy for me. How rap music is lifting the stigma of mental illness. All right. So you wouldn't traditionally associate rap music with the topic of mental health, but many contemporary hip hop artists are using their songs to share personal struggles and advance the conversation surrounding the destigmatization, I believe I said that right, of mental illness. All right, so recent analysis published in JAMA Pediatrics looked at the lyrics of 125 songs from 1998 to 2018 with the intention of finding a correlation between music and the increase in mental health concerns in young men, mainly young Black men. What they found is that many popular songs reference anxiety, depression, stress, suicide, or used a metaphor to describe mental health. There we go with some of that creative writing, all right? According to the study, rap artists are among the most recognizable celebrities in the US, serving as role models to an increasingly diverse audience of listeners. Through their lyrics, these artists have the potential to shape mental health discourse and reduce stigma. All right, so researchers found that in 1998, so this is like one of the golden era years of hip hop. Like, who dropped that year, man? So many people, Jay-Z, DMX, all these legends, right? I think Lauryn Hill came out that year. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Researchers found that in 1998, 32% of popular songs discussed mental health, and in 2018, that number doubled. So more than half, 64%. They reviewed songs by popular artists like Jay-Z, Eminem, Lil Wayne. Relationships, police brutality, environmental conditions were all prevalent themes. So you got the experts talking about et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, this is the main thing. These messages are reaching youth. A 2020 study done by the American Psychological Association. This is the top association about psychology in America. By the American Psychological, found that Generation Z expressed a higher than average amount of mental distress. While the pandemic and the social distance learning increased anxiety and depression, these factors alone did not account for the increase in mental health concerns in young adults since 2007. So it's been going on. All right, so I've heard lyrics where rappers name drop the type of meds they're on. It's all a way of helping people feel like they're not alone living with mental health related issues. And this is one of the most important things about hip hop when you think about artists, when you think about like your favorite artist, like how would you like feel if you met your favorite artist or you saw your favorite artist in concert? Like it's like, man, like this is my favorite artist. I listen to them all the time, and you know they're right here in my face or whatever. So the idea that rappers are relating to their fans, their listeners, by telling them, hey, I'm going through the same things you going through. Like, yeah, I might be, you know, this big artist or whatever, but I'm dealing with PTSD. I'm dealing with these issues. I'm living the same, you know, the same timeline as you. I think that's a very, you know, important thing. In my teen yoga classes, so this is the same lady, in my Alana Gardner, sorry. In my teen yoga classes, I lead hip hop classes, and I have the teens pick the songs that help them get calm. So they're using hip hop for yoga, y'all. So you know it's important. They pick a lot of drill artists, you know, Chicago, like G Herbo, Lil Durk. I don't know why they said Young Durk, but Lil Durk. These are people who are from where they are from, experience life like them, and now they are also being vulnerable. Important. G Herbo released an album this year titled PTSD, Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder. Okay, so we talked about that. One song made waves in 2017 with the intention to tackle suicide ideations. The song 1-800-273-8255 by Logic is actually the phone number to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. The song is controversial and it starts out with a somber message. The singer does not want to live and he does not think his life matters. By the end of the song, he realizes that he does, and he's encouraging his listeners that may struggle with these thoughts to call this line. Now, Logic is a huge artist. He's independent, I believe, but he's a huge artist. He's got songs with Eminem and people like that. To have this song named as the number of the hotline, like, I think that was genius. But on World Mental Health Day, the Today Show, Carson Daly interviewed Logic, And he shared his struggles with severe anxiety. His advice for dealing with mental health: get it out, don't keep it inside. He continued, anything that anybody can be going through alone in the depths of their mind, and they feel like they can't get out of it. I think, where was that at? I read something else about this, but it said when he dropped that song, like the percentage of calls that the hotline got went up, of course, you know, and it was just interesting, like seeing rappers really tackle these type of serious issues that are going on today. Like everybody's talking about it, and to see rappers on the front line, like again, really using hip hop as a platform to get these messages across and to reach people. Another one, how rappers are helping to break the stigma of mental illness. Of course, y'all know who that is. Big Sean right there from Detroit. Once again, Detroit has an incredible hip hop scene right now. This goes through a lot of different stats and stuff like that. But I wanted to get to towards the end. It's talking about, oh yeah, so Grandmaster Flash in 1982, he talked about social injustice, etc. My mind is playing tricks on me by the Ghetto Boys. Rapped about street life and drug use can lead to paranoia, depression, and suicide. Suicidal Thoughts by Notorious B.I.G. ended with him. All right, so Big Sean went through it. Of course, Kanye. Kanye put it out there that he's bipolar. He had a whole a whole album about it or whatever. You have Kid Cudi, who actually like left hip hop for a couple years to get his mental health together. Tyler, the Creator, talked about his having a mental breakdown. Where did it go? Meek Mill talking about trauma from growing up in Philadelphia, as well. That's Kid Cudi right there. And just all these different artists, and you know, just like it just kind of blew up all of a sudden, in my opinion. Oh, yeah, here we go. After Logic performed the suicide prevention Lifeline song at the 2017 MTV VMAs, calls to the organization went about 50%. So his song literally is saving people's lives. And like, I think that's so important with hip hop. They tripled after he performed the song at the Grammys in 2018. And the video stars Don Cheadle, among others, is reminiscent of Moonlight, the Oscar award winning coming of age drama. Something else on here I wanted to see. This is the Logic video right there, if I want to check that out. Okay, all of this shows how rap has made a difference, not just among Black people, but across society. It makes it easier for all kinds of other people to see themselves in that situation, rather than do what these artists have talked about on records previously. When seeking out help was perceived to be some sort of weaker route, says A.D. Carson, a professor of hip hop in the Global South at the University of Virginia. To hear your favorite rapper talking about getting treatment, I think it definitely does change how you have that conversation. All right, so I just wanted to dive into that and show, like, man, hip hop out here doing the work, y'all. They are saving lives. Okay, it's important. All right, so I wanted to, and there's so many other things that are going on that rappers are just people in hip hop, might be a producer or a record executive, are getting behind and trying to get pushed out into the forefronts. Remember, MTV started doing like the vote or die movement, and like P Diddy and all these rappers are like putting on these concerts about going to vote and doing like these voting rallies. Like, hey, come out to the concert and sign up to vote. Like, that has always been a popular thing, and I think it's just amazing to me to see how rappers are still doing it and recreating what it looks like, but still keeping that common theme from the 80s to now. So, and if anybody has any questions, please write them in the chat too. We want to address those. Any questions about anything, whether it's the next meeting or something you talked about today, or anything from mid-continent, you can put those in the chat box as well.
I mean, just to piggyback off of how, like, you know, even just from a mental health perspective, how hip hop has kind of helped me. One of the things I talked about in some of my albums, one of the things I always do when I have moments where I'm not feeling so well, I do what they call free writing. Kind of like freestyling, but it's just with a pen, right? And whatever comes to my mind, whatever's on my mind, right? These are things that I just jot down. A lot of times it does. Sometimes it doesn't rhyme, but a lot of times because I'm a rapper, naturally when I'm writing, it just comes out in rhyming form. Um, and that's helped. I mean, in some of my darkest times, me just picking up my pen, writing the things that are on my mind, writing the things down. And I think I listening to artists similar to what Sauce was talking about, uh, really has helped me come a long way. I can't say that I've ever had moments where I've thought of suicide, but I've definitely had some really really dark moments that just writing and listening to music that kind of related to my situation really helped me navigate through that to get to the point where I am in life now. So it's what he's talking about, y'all, is really big. Hip hop is really saving lives, and I do feel like to a certain degree I'm a product of that.
Yeah, man. Um, going back to like me reading those Goosebump books, it was a way for me to like escape the idea that I'm in trouble, I'm on punishment, I can't do nothing, I can't go ride my bike. Like riding bikes back then was like the number one thing in the world. So like not being able to go ride my bike around my neighborhood, that was like a total loss for me. But so being able to read these books, man, and just kind of go into a whole nother world. Hip hop did the same thing. It became like a escapism. But hearing the rappers talk about the same conditions that I grew up in or the areas that I grew up in, it was even more comforting. And that's why I said it made me want to create my own stories. It made me want to talk about, what I see in the world. And, even if like I said, like the young lady that we had that wrote that rap about her father, you know, I'm pretty sure she's not in the booth right now laying down some hot fire. But for her to have that moment, man, it's just a special thing to see that someone can feel validated in hip hop to share something like that. So even more being a listener, because we listening for a reason. We're inspired. It's a home away from home. It serves various purposes for different people, but I think the connectivity is the most important thing of figuring out. I mean, not figuring out, but um, being inspired, but being encouraged by art, by music. And I mean, it's been doing it since it's been created, but just looking at how big hip hop is an influence on popular culture, I'm just really grateful that there are artists that are really leading the charge for some very important things. And like I said, me and Tez have done a lot of things like that in the Kansas City area, in the Midwest region. We've been working with youth for years now. Um, I know Tez has another hip hop program at a local school. We've worked with Aim for Peace. We've worked with YMCA's, Boys and Girls Clubs. We've worked with various churches. We've done food drives, just all type of things, and it's inspired by our love for the community and knowing where we come from, but also understanding that we have a responsibility with something as important as hip hop, and making sure that we're putting in and kind of giving back in that way. But we also do the regular things rappers do. We performed in over 30 cities. We performed in, I mean, Chicago, Atlanta. We've been on tour a few times now. Our first tour, we started touring like just calling up places like, hey, can we just come out there and perform? If y'all give us a spot on the stage, we'll just come for free. The next year, we had a few people call us back. And like now, festivals call us all the time. We've done major festivals. We've done South by Southwest. We've done what's the festival we did in Columbia, the film festival?
True False.
True False, which is one of the biggest documentary film festivals in America, right in Columbia, Missouri. We met Netflix there and all kind of like different people.
Yeah.
We performed at Plaza Art Fair, which was like last weekend or the weekend before. We've done Lincoln Calling in Lincoln, Nebraska. We did the big the festival about the Black Wall Street Festival in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Last summer, last fall.
This past summer.
Yeah, past summer. We performed at different colleges and a lot of other different places, man. And it's been a joy being a part of hip hop, but being able to actually share our experience with youth who may be interested, whether they want to perform or not. And so yeah, I don't want to get emotional or nothing like that, but it's definitely been a great experience. So let's see here. Oh, we got something in the chat. What we got? Well, you were saying you read a lot of books. All right, so the question was, when you were saying you read a lot of books during your own teen years and you realized that you wanted to be a writer, how did you know for sure that's what you wanted to do? And was it hard to write first when you started? I didn't know for sure until I graduated high school. But what I did was I started writing down the lyrics of the rappers. So this is before you can go online. I mean, back then we had dial-up, y'all. Y'all don't know about dial-up. You had to get on AOL. It had to call a number. It had to do these little weird little noises with the phone to get you connected to the internet. And then if somebody called your house, it would kick you off the internet. It was real. It's like dinosaur stuff. All right. So what we got right now is like incredible. Okay. To just get on when you want to get on. So first of all, we had dial-up. So it was already hard to get on the internet and stay on the internet, but you couldn't go like just searching for rap lyrics all the time. So either a rapper would put their lyrics in their CD cover or their vinyl or whatever, and you can read them yourself, or you'd have to just literally just memorize them. And I would memorize these raps and I would write them down. I write down everything. I knew every song on the radio. I knew about heart. So that got me like acquainted with writing and figuring out how to decipher what the artist is saying and how to write it down correctly. So as I got to high school, like I said, we used to freestyle battle a lot, and I loved rapping, but I didn't know I was going to be like recording. Like I just wanted to rap. So one of my homies had an idea. This is the first time I ever recorded an album. And this is so funny because I just saw this guy at Plaza Art Fair a couple weeks ago. My homie named Jay Love. He's a producer, platinum recording producer. He has a platinum plaque, a #1 album that he produced on for Rick Ross. Rick Ross' last album, he produced it. He's from Kansas City. So there's a lot of Kansas City producers and artists doing some big things in the music industry. But anyway, he went to a college called Mo West in St. Joe, and Missouri Western State. I forgot the exact title, but I think they're like the Griffins or something. But so he went to Mo West, and we used to go up there every weekend. St. Louis versus Kansas City battle rap. So I'm representing Kansas City, going up there with the St. Louis guys. At this time, Nelly was one of the biggest artists in the world. Everybody had on Air Force Ones, and like St. Louis, they had the locks and Air Force Ones and tube socks. It was like a weird thing they used to have going on. So we go up there, Kansas City, with the Royce hat or whatever, battle rapping. And my homie was like, "Yo, y'all want to record? Like, I can record in my dorm room." And I'm like, make a song? He like, "Yeah." So we go in there, and we're up all night just like picking different mixtape beats and just freestyling over them, rapping over them. And pretty soon we had 10 songs. And it was my first time I had a recorded product. And man, we take that album everywhere and try to sell it at gas stations, at local record stores like the Wax Factory or Seventh Heaven. And from there, I realized, you know what? I want to do this. Like, I want to rap. Now, I didn't know to what degree of writing I would be doing, but as I grew and learned more about life and learned more about myself, I knew I had a special relationship with writing. So when I got to UMKC, um, I knew I had to incorporate hip hop somehow because UMKC has nothing for hip hop at all. So if you want to do some hip hop stuff, don't go to UMKC. No, I'm just joking. But so I had a writing class and I had this professor named Whitney Terrell. And he's like an award-winning professor. He's been in like the New York Times. Like he's like a big name writer, but he's a professor at UMKC. And we have a writing exercise. He's like, "Oh man, you're a good writer. Like I can see it. Like you don't have the technique down, but you know how to communicate." He's always said it to me, like, "Man, you know how to come up with a good story or something." So he helped me work on my technique as far as like formal writing, and that's how I wrote my memoir, was through him. And he proofread it or whatever. He edited it for me, and then we got it published. But that's a whole different type of writing style than journalism versus creative writing versus writing an essay or an argumentative piece. Like those are all different type of writing styles. So once I started getting into that and I started learning about these different writing styles, like I was like, yo, I want to write. I want to write. I don't care what kind of writing it is. I want to write and I want to get paid for it. And I want to just do this for the rest of my life. I don't write as much as I used to. Like I had a blog and everything. Like I used to write, man. And but so that's when I really realized, like, okay, I want to do something that involves writing. And even if I do something else, I wanted to be able to get me back to writing or talking about writing, teaching about writing, writing, performing, recording, like all of those things together. So that's kind of the formula that it went through to get to here. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so when I was just reading the books, I just fell in love with the storytelling and kind of the writing style. And I don't know, I guess it just blossomed to what it is today. So all right, so it's 12:40. Um, we went through everything that I have on the agenda today. The only thing is that we had a very important video about rhyme. It really broke down how rappers have. So remember we watched the video about counting bars, and he was talking about how it lands on the 2 or the 4. Well, the video breaks down on how rappers have like took that and just like done all kind of stuff with it. Like they rap rhymes in places that shouldn't rhyme. They rap words together that shouldn't rhyme. Like Eminem on there talking about how to rap. Why he gets mad when people say orange doesn't rhyme with anything. He said, I could think of 1,000 words that rhyme with orange. So and talk about these different great rhymers like Andre 3000, MF Doom, R.A.P. MF Doom, Kendrick Lamar, throughout, and like talked about the complexity of rhymes and how it has evolved from what's the guy that made These Are the Breaks? These are the breaks. I forgot his name, but like from like the way they used to rap in like the 80s, like LL Cool J, old school type of stuff, to how they've like just transformed the way words rhyme with each other and the frequency of the rhymes that happen in a rap now is just
I couldn't think of his name. It's Curtis Blow though.
Yeah, Curtis Blow.
Yeah.
So I want you to see the video because they document like the way rhyme has evolved. Like they did a study on it. But they talked about KRS-One as well. And KRS-One teaches hip hop at various colleges. He's a lecturer. Like he'll come around like to your college and teach about the history of hip hop or whatever. A lot of artists like that. A lot of older artists like that are really involved into pushing hip hop forward in the academic world as well. But yeah, and then the other video was a video about triplets, which is a musical idea that is made famous. Probably Beethoven, one of his classical pieces. The triplet is made famous by one of his pieces, but more importantly, the triplets has been made famous by the Migos in their song Versace. So I remember that song Versace, 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 Versace. All right, so they came out with that song, and they were getting a lot of kind of pushback on that song from like hip hop listeners, like critics and stuff. And then Drake jumped on the remix, and the song blew up. Drake has been the hottest artist for a long time, and the song like blew up, and like almost every rapper now raps in that type of style, whether they do a whole song like that or they do a half a song. And you got to watch the video to really understand how it evolved, where it came from, where it's at now, and kind of the influence that the Migos had on that, and the way that the triplet style fits inside of a bar. So if you can tonight, watch those two videos. They are on the syllabus for week 2, I believe. And one of the reasons that we couldn't get them is because they had some explicit language, and we was just trying to get the edits out, but for the future ones, I should be having those ready. We got some more cool videos, but yeah, the triplets video and the importance of rhyme video. I wish we could have shown them. They always go over well, but all right. So next week, what we gonna talk about? Yep, next Saturday, same time, same place. A Zoom link will be sent to you. October 16th. We will also meet October 23rd, October 30th. Ooh, October 30th. Anybody doing something for Halloween? No. I think I might go to Worlds of Fun like back in the day, man. I don't know. November 6th, November 13th, and November 20th, right before Thanksgiving. So we trying to get all this done right before Thanksgiving, y'all. We're gonna do something very dope, and we'll get more into it. Definitely with the next class, talking about creating our own things. So yeah, please share your feedback with that link. And also, if you know anybody else who may be interested, they can still register. Like, I know we talked about today being the cutoff day, but we're trying to get as many people in here that we can handle. And if you know anybody that's like, yo, like they really love hip hop, they really interested in writing, please tell them about this, especially if you enjoyed it. And we definitely appreciate you all. Let me pull this agenda up here. Let's see here. All right, so week 3, the studio. So students will learn how to set up a music studio and will virtually assist with setup, including running wires, soundproofing, connecting instruments, etc. Coaches will continue to assist students in songwriting. The music appreciation component for this week will entail studying great songwriters. Homework will be given. All right, homework will be given, and it's about to be dope. It's about to be dope. I know we're doing a lot of talking and reading right now. We've about to turn it all the way up. So if you look at Ted's screen, you see he's got the same thing I got right here. The chaotica ball. This is so of course our recording microphone is inside of it. This is a mobile soundproof studio thing.
Yeah, it's just a sound baffler, man. It helps, like, instead it replaces like a full like soundproof studio. It helps with basically getting all the noise, all the surrounding noises, etc., from the room, your reverb, your all of that stuff. It basically is a mobile recording booth, and that's kind of the best, description of it. We'll learn more. We'll learn more about that. So we'll talk more about how to set up the studio. I'm in my studio now. We'll talk about all the stuff that we can go over, the different mics. We're gonna talk about how to set up. Looks like I think somebody got a keyboard in their background. Where did I see that at? Tasala. That's how you say name? Tasala. Is that how you say name? Okay, yeah. I see a keyboard back there. So I thought I seen you grab a mic too. So somebody got a studio set up over there already. But Yeah.
Recording.
So yeah, that's dope. So we'll talk more about what that looks like. I'm really excited. I know we're really excited to go forward and show y'all what we got for y'all. A lot of dope writing. We're gonna do some rapping. We're gonna do some studio stuff. It's gonna be super dope.
Yeah, so now I'm in my dining room because we just moved to a new place. So my studio, I don't even know if I'm going. I don't know when I'm gonna put it back up, but so I'm going to be at Ted's studio next week. So we'll be at the same. We'll be in the same, and we just gonna show the studio. Like Ted's has a dope studio, man. Ted's is probably one of the most resourceful artists I know, as far as being a musician, really knowing his stuff about the studio. Like he really knows this stuff. Like he probably could be a full-time engineer if he wanted to, but he does so many other things as well. So we definitely gonna have some fun next week and learn a lot about being in the studio and looking at the recording process. Because it's one thing to write, but it's a whole nother beast to record. Like we have so many students that are like, yeah, I want to rap. And yeah, it's cool to rap with your friends, but on that microphone, man, they be shivering. They hear themselves like, oh, I don't know how it's gonna be, So it's another thing to do that. But anyway, we appreciate y'all definitely for being a part of this. And if you have to miss a day or something like that, yeah, you can just come right back in. They're going to be sending out the recorded YouTubes to you anyway, and you can check the syllabus for the extra links and any homework or whatever, and check those out as well, so you can still be up to date. But
also, if you're a gamer, check out MC. Oh yeah. Abdul, okay.
Oh yeah, any gamers? Anybody gamers in here? A little bit.
Kind of.
Yeah. I play Warzone a little bit on PS4. And I play a few of a couple other games, but I'm not as active as I used to be. But I mean, when I was younger, I thought I was going to be a professional gamer at one point, but you soon find out that you're not as good as you think you are when you get on the internet. I mean, these guys are incredible. These guys, man, they doing stuff that you didn't know you can do, especially on like Warzone, Battlefield, like them open lobbies like that. This stuff is incredible. But anyway, a good friend of ours as well, Abdul, he has a whole gaming thing. So if you like gaming, you can click that link. They have a unified esports thing going on as well. But yeah, that's it for us today. So we can get off about 10 minutes early. We appreciate y'all. Hope to see y'all again next Saturday. Thank y'all once again. My man Mike, thanks once again, man, for coming back. And yeah, we'll see y'all soon.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Thanks so much for coming, you guys. Well, that was awesome. I so much enjoyed just all of it. It was great. Thanks so much for hosting it. I think the kids were really engaged, as much as teenagers on Zoom can be,
Right. And that's why I'm like, I don't want to talk too much because I want to have them videos ready, because the videos, man, they do a real good job with captivating. But if you're interested in it, you'll pay attention. So.
Oh, I thought you guys were fantastic. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, are you going to take the?
I got to take host back. Is that how that works?
Yeah, I think you got to take host back so you can save the recording or however.
Yes, there's some. Okay, it's just not letting me. Oh, there we go. Maybe. Nope. Maybe. Do you have to give it back to me?
Let me see. How do I? Gotcha.
Okay. All right. Cool. I think we're good then. All right. So I hope the rest of the series goes well. I wish I could be here for all of them, but I don't work very many weekends. So.
Okay.
All right. Well,
we appreciate you today. Definitely.
Good luck. It was so much fun. I loved it. I really enjoyed also just thinking about creative writing from a different perspective. But it's a lot of the same. It's so many of the same things. It's just a different genre. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a poetry class at UMKC, and man, it was like You might as well call this a rap class. I mean,
Right, exactly. Well, and I introduced my students when we did poetry to spoken word, and then I'm like, well, and then that's just really just rap, but
Yeah.
no, there's no music underneath you, and but there's so many of the same ways anyway, so it's great. But anyways, it was awesome.
All right. Well, nice meeting you. Thank you once
Nice
again.
meeting you too. See y'all later.
All right.
All right. All right. Peace.